Our objective for today, I can write and graph linear equations using slope and y-intercept. Let's read together. 1, 2, 3. I can write and graph linear equations using the slope and y-intercept. So today we're going to finish off with slope-intercept form, but I need you guys to focus, guys. I'm telling you, this part is where some of you get really confused, so I need you guys to stay focused. Please, pretty please. So just to recap where we're at in regards to slope-intercept form. We covered slope-intercept form. I gave you guys a definition, but we know that the form is what? Y equals mx plus b. We did that, right? We saw examples. We saw non-examples. We got some hashtags. Then I showed you steps. On the steps, I said don't copy these, but to pay attention to the steps. What was the first most important step? Solve for y. Now, those of you that did your home play, you should have noticed that there were about 6 problems that they were asking for you the slope, but the equation didn't look in slope-intercept form, so guess what? You solve for y. You solve for y, and then you find the slope. Okay? From there, did we identify the slope and y-intercept? Yes. Did we graph a line? Yes. Did we write an equation? Yes. So yesterday we started with this one, is that correct? And the process was simple. You write first your slope-intercept form, y equals mx plus b. Then you substitute the values given. So this is y equals negative 2/5 x plus 4. And then from there we graph. To graph, we start with the y-intercept, which is positive 4. From there we use the slope to plot points. My slope says the rise is negative 2. That means I go down 2 steps, 5 to the right. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Plot your point, do it again. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then you graph your line. Right? So from there we moved on and we did this example. From there we did this example. Okay? Copy this one on your graph paper, top left. I want you to do example 1B. You don't have to copy the instructions. Just copy the information. Example 1D, which is slope negative 2/3 and y-intercept 1. And I want you to do 2 things. Write me an equation and graph the line. Go. 1 minute. Okay, here goes the process. First thing you should have written is y equals mx plus b. From there, substitute the values, and then y equals negative 2/3 x plus 1. Hands if you got that. That's part 1, so you wrote your equation. Next, we graph. We start at what? Positive 1 of y, which is right there. From there, we use our slope to plot points. What is our slope? 2 steps down, 3 to the right. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Plot your point, do it again. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Plot your point, do it again. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Plot your point, graph your line. And if yours looks like that. Okay, good. So far, so good, yes? Okay, and we did this yesterday, and we should be fine. Andrew, yes? Okay. So, from there, I said, okay, guys, now some of the problems on the home plate should look like this. Look up to the screen. They're going to give you a slope and y-intercept, and you should be able to come up with the equations just by looking at it, right? So the equation for this information is what? Y equals 1/4 x plus 4. So far, so good? For this one, look at it. Therefore, my equation is y equals negative 9/1 x minus 5/4. Are we there so far? And then we got to this one. Before you left yesterday, I said, they're going to give you something like this where they're asking you for the slope, but I said, this one, you need to solve for y in order for you to have it in slope-intercept form. You guys remember that? So therefore, we subtracted 3x to each side. We get negative 2y equals negative 3x plus 8. Divide by negative 2. Y equals 3/2x. 8 divided by 2 is negative 4, but they only want the what? The slope. So then we write m equals 3/2. And you did some of those on your home play, right? Okay. On your Cornell notes, copy this one. Example, Shazam Q. For the instructions, just write find the slope and write the equation 5y equals 12. All right. So let's look at this one. Is this one already solved for y? No. Line down the equal sign. Divide by 5. Y equals 5 fits in there 2 times, and we're left with 2/5, or y equals 2.4. Yes, Marco. All right. So we already solved for y, but what are they asking us for? Slope. Now, those of you that work with me in tutoring, you should know what the slope is. Those of you that were not, talk about your neighbor, let them know what the slope is for this equation. I did, but I just want to make sure that you guys did the practice at home and you got this. Okay, slope is equal to 0. And why is it equal to 0? Let's find out. Let's see. Y equals mx plus b. Look at this one and look at this. Does this have an x? No, that means this one is what? The y-intercept. Is that correct? So if it doesn't have x, that means that slope has to be what? 0. Okay? All right. So we're done one up to right there. Let's crank it up a notch. Copy this one. Example 3A. On your Cornell notes, it says, a line has a slope of 3 and 2, -1 is on the line. Write the equation that describes this line in slope-intercept form. Copy that and then I'll go over it. Okay, here we go. So, for this next part, I need your full attention. You'll copy at the end. Okay, here it goes. So, it says, a line has a slope 3 and 2, -1 is on the line. Write the equation that describes this line in slope-intercept form. So, I'm going to do a think aloud. Pay attention. Here goes. One thing that I see familiar here is slope of 3. Another thing that I see familiar is slope-intercept form. Yes, this looks familiar, but I haven't really seen that on the previous examples that I did. So for right now, I'm going to focus on these. So right away when I see slope-intercept form, I write y equals mx plus b. Once I did that, I substituted values given. What was the value given here for the slope? 3. But here I have a dilemma. I don't have a value for b. That means I need to find a value for b. They don't give me that value. So I already used 3. They give me these values. Do I know what these values represent? Yes, this one represents x and this one represents y. Can I use those here so I can solve for b? Yes, x is 2 and y is -1. Bring everything else down. Now I can solve for b. Therefore, -1 equals 6 plus b. And to solve for b, I subtract 6. We're left with -7 equals b. So now I have -7 here. Do I have enough information to write my equation? Yes, I have a slope and a y-intercept, so I write y equals 3/1x minus 7. Copy that, please. Just to reiterate the steps. So, according to the information given, they give me the slope. They gave me the information about that they needed a slope-intercept form equation, and they gave me a point. So, with that said, what was familiar? The slope and slope-intercept form. So automatically I wrote y equals mx plus b. I substituted the slope. But what did I realize? That I'm missing the y-intercept, which is b. I wrote that over here, and I focused on that. And then I'm like, what else can I use to solve for b? Well, I used the given values of x and y. I substituted those in here, solve for b. Now that I have a slope and a y-intercept, I was able to substitute in here and write my equation in slope-intercept form. Okay? All right? Let's see how you do with this one. Example 3b. And don't copy the instructions. It's the same thing as the previous one. Just write the slope 2 and the point is 3, 4. Slope 2, 0.34. Find me the equation to that line. Ready, copy, and go. You have 1 minute. All right, here we go. So, first things first, you should have written y equals mx plus b. From there, you substituted for m the number 2. For x, you substituted number 3. And for y, you substituted 4. You brought everything else down. We solved for the letter b. 4 equals 6 plus b. At the end, we subtract 6 from each side. Therefore, negative 2 equals b. So now that I have a slope and a y-intercept, I can write my equation. Y equals, what is my slope? 2 over 1x. And what is my y-intercept? Minus 2. Hands if you got that. Okay. All right. All right. Get your graph paper in front of you. Let's kick it up a notch. Here we go. Oh, we still have plenty. So here we go. Example 3Q. On the top left of that graph paper, example 3Q, slope is negative 2, and the point given is 3, negative 4. Find me the equation, write the equation. However, at the end, once you have your equation, I want you to graph it. Ready? You got a minute and a half. Go. Okay. Here it goes again. Slope is negative 2, and the point is 3, negative 4. Okay. So, okay, here we go. So, here goes the process one more time to make sure we got it. Slope-intercept form, y equals mx plus b. Do they give us a slope? Yes. Negative 2. Do they give us the y-intercept? No. But what other information do they give us? An x value and a y value. So I'm going to use those. So for x is 3, and for y is negative 4. I bring everything else down. Can I solve for b? Yes. This is negative 4 equals negative 6 plus b. Add 6, 2 equals b. Do I have a slope now? Yes. Do I have a y-intercept? Yes. So my equation in slope-intercept form is y equals negative 2 over 1 x plus 2. Hands if you got that. Okay. Next, let's graph this. Where do I start? I start with my y-intercept. That means on the y-axis we're at positive 2, which is right here. Next, I'm going to use my slope to plot points. The rise over run says that I go down 2 steps and 1 to the right. So from here I go 1, 2, 1 to the right. I plot my point, and I do it again. 1, 2, 1 to the right. Plot your point. Do it again. 1, 2, 1 to the right. Plot your point. Do it again. 1, 2, 1 to the right. Plot your point. Graph your line. So, and remember, the more points you have, the straighter your line. Okay, hands if you got that by yourself. Okay, all right, we got this, yes? All right.
Yes and no.
So, writing utensils down, look up to the screen. I want to show you a couple of things to make sure we got this. Here it goes. So what is the one thing that's consistent in each of these problems? Let's see, what do I see here? The slope, 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 and so on and so forth. So what can we conclude that being consistent all the way throughout? They give us slope. Okay? I'm going to crank it up a notch. Here we go. So stay focused. Copy this one on your Cornell notes. Careful with this one. This one's the one that is the heavy one. Example, super mega cube.
That's a lot of cubes.
For instructions, I want you to write a slope-intercept form equation, and then I want you to write these 2 points. Copy that, please. Yeah, just write what I underlined and the 2 points given. Ten seconds. Okay, writing utensils down, look up to the screen. Ready? Writing utensils down. Here we go. I'm going to do a think aloud, and then I'm going to have you think. Please, stop getting distracted. Focus on this one. This is one of those that either you get it or you don't. And your homework is going to be these kind of problems, 10 of them. So here we go. It says, write a slope-intercept form equation. So right away, the first thing I see that's familiar is what? Slope-intercept form. So what would I write? Y equals mx plus. So what does that mean? That I need my slope and I need a y-intercept to write an equation. So let's see. What was consistent in all the other problems? That they gave me the slope. Here, there's no slope. However, don't say it out loud. Keep it to yourself. However, if I don't have a slope, what do they give me? They give me 2 points. So, without graphing, how can I get a slope and a y-intercept? Talk it over with your neighbor. How can I get slope and y?
Don't you like graph them or do like put a straight line out of it?
No, that's why I said without graphing. Let's see. Joey, given 2 points, what can we do? Well, yeah, but we don't have an M and B. Hazel. Valeria. Isabella. G. Minus y sub 1 over x sub 2 minus x sub. That is correct. Okay, hold on. So pay attention. Here we go. So yeah, I said we need a slope What do they give us? 2 points. Can we find the slope given 2 points? Yes, there it is. So watch. I'm going to continue. You're just paying attention. I need to label these. This is x sub 1, y sub 1, x sub 2, y sub 2. Okay? Here we go. Y sub 2 is negative 3. Y sub 1 is 3. X sub 2 is 5. And x sub 1 is 2. All right, so with that said, let's see what I get. What is negative 3? Negative 3, that's negative 6. 5 minus 2, that is 3. So my slope is negative 2. Right now I don't write it in fraction form because I'm still not writing my equation. So I have a slope already. So with that said, I need now, I can substitute this in here. Okay, there it is. But what am I still missing? I'm still missing the y-intercept. So now that I have a slope, can I find my y-intercept with information given? Yes. I can use either one of the points. I'm going to use this one. Instead of x, what do I write? 2. And instead of y, what do I write? 3. I bring everything else down. I get 3 equals negative 4 plus b. From there, plus 4 plus 4. 7 equals b. So do I have enough information now to write my equation? Y equals negative 2 over 1 x plus 7. Copy that, please. All right. Copy this one. See if you can do this one by yourself. Example Shazam Q. On the Cornell, no. You don't have to copy all the information. Just write the 2 points, negative 2, 9, and negative 1, 7. Because the information is still the same. We're wanting to do what? Write a slope-intercept form equation. $30 seconds. Yes, you are. Okay. Should have already written y equals mx plus b. From there, you went over here and you wrote m equals y sub 2 minus y sub 1 over x sub 2 minus x sub 1. From there, you label this x sub 1, y sub 1, x sub 2, y sub 2. So therefore, you get 7, 9, negative 1, negative 2. Therefore, this is negative 2, and this is positive 1. So my slope is negative 2. From there, we substitute that in there, negative 2. Then I'm going to use this one first, negative 2 and 9. This becomes 9 equals 4 plus b. Subtract 4, subtract 4. 5 equals b. Therefore, my equation is y equals negative 2 over 1x plus 5. And if you got that. Okay? So for home plate, you only have 10 problems. There it is. So either copy it before you leave or go to the video on YouTube and copy it from the video. Once again, it's only 10 problems. Good one, guys. See you guys tomorrow. No, till Monday. Bye.